Hey everyone, it's Melanie. I'm here today to show you this new fun fold card that I designed. And I'm going to show you how to get this shape card. I am showing off TLC Designs dies and stamps today. The stamp we're going to be using, his name is Dreamer. And he comes with the sentiment. He comes with these little stamps. There's another sentiment. So it's not a set that's just one stamp. It has multiple little accessories to it. And it is photopolymer, which I always want to know when I'm buying clear stamps. The die sets we're going to be using today. This is the Daisy Frame die. And I think this is my favorite set right now. We're going to use the largest one to cut the card base. And then it has all these numerous layers. And actually, I have some of them cut here. You can see here. I had gone with the different color scheme to start with. But we have the largest one, which we're going to cut in just a minute. Then there's a layering one. So they're very ornate and they're very different. I like that they have the stitched edge both on the outside and the inside and a double stitched. And actually, I had cut two pieces with these papers. These are digital papers from the store. And I wanted to show both papers off. So I went ahead and die cut the little one, or the next to the smallest, out of that just a few minutes ago. And it fits in there perfect. And then, of course, you'd have your white on there as well for your writing or stamping. But this also looks really cute as a frame. So I thought that was kind of a 2-in-1. Like I said, these are the Dragons in Fall papers that are in the store. And this is the watercolor set, one of the pieces from the store. And the one in the sample is also from the watercolor set of digital papers. So I am going to start. Usually I wouldn't use my die cutter during an actual video because of how loud it is. But because we're going to be cutting through, let's see, 1, 2, 3 layers of cardstock at once, I wanted to do it on camera so you have an idea of how it works, and so you don't start die cutting and then wonder why you're not cutting enough. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use a retired piece of Stampin' Up paper for this card, just to show you as a sample. Let me grab my scoreboard. Yeah. And hopefully I'm going to try to get this in the camera. You're going to take a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and we're going to score on the 11-inch side. Your first score line is at 3.5. Then we have 4.5. We have 6.5. And 7.5. Super easy scoring. If you have a trimmer that has your score blade on it, it's very handy. 2-in-1. Okay, so we now have 4 score lines. And the first one is going to be a mountain fold. And then you're going to have a valley fold. You got the mountain and the valley. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to have the mountain. And you're going to have the valley. And let me show you this, where you can actually make sure you can see it. When these both fold, they fold and they meet in the middle. Score really, really good, because remember, you're going through multiple layers. When we're going to be putting our die You don't want to use a die larger than 5 by 7. This one is smaller than that. Let's see what this measures. About 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. But you don't want to go more than 5 by 7, because if so, you might need a 12-inch piece of paper to do this. So I'm going to tape this down with some washi tape. Of course, it's going to splinter on me. All of these supplies that I'm using today are in the TLC Designs.shop is the website. And you will be pleasantly surprised at the price point on a lot of the TLC products. The price cannot be beat. I think this set here might be the next to the last most expensive, and I think it's like $12 or $13. I mean, for all these dies, that is just a steal. So, and everyone that knows me knows dies are my middle name. I love dies, and I love multifunction dies. In this set here, I showed you all the layers, but it also has this daisy, and it's got multiple different petals. Makes me think of She Loves Me Not. But it's really cute. So you get all these embellishment dies plus all of the layering dies. So it's definitely worth the amount of money. Because I'm going to be using my Gemini Junior. It's actually my full-size Gemini, but I'm going to be using Junior plates. So I'm going to have to cut off a little bit on either end real quick. Grab my handy-dandy trimmer. And since the die is on there already, I know, I can see where I'm going to be cutting, so. And I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. As long as the die is still intact, don't run over it with your blade. That would not be a good thing. Okay. Now it will easily layer on my Junior plate. Pop these extra plates on top. Like I said, it's going to be a little loud, and I'm going to actually probably run it through twice to start with, and then we're going to look at it. This is off screen. Man, the actual Gemini machine would take up more than the screen space that we have right here, so it has to be off screen. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to actually rotate it and go the other direction. We are so spoiled as crafters having electric die cut machines. It is hilarious. We get so lazy with our toys. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over and just show it to you. Everything has cut, and the Gemini is the strongest machine on the market that I know of. And this has been the first project that's never cut all the way through, but it is 3 layers of quality cardstock. So, because this isn't quite cut, we're going to do it one more time. And I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle. I'll put it through here, and then I think that will be that. I didn't want you cutting it the first time and going like, oh no, this doesn't work. Because it does work, you just have to be patient with it. Okay, now let's look at what it looks like. See, that popped right out there. Oh, it's just the tape holding it. Hold on. All right, I try to put my tape on the part that's coming off because it may rip, especially when it's like new washi tape. But look at here. Then you have your fancy fold. Get these out of the way. Okay, I'm going to bring mine back in here. Okay, so from here what I did is I used the tiny little stamp that comes as part of the stamp set. This little stamp right here. And I went ahead and I stamped it with the same color ink as the paper. So it kind of makes it look like patterned paper. and that, you know, it coordinates with the theme. And so there's two ways that you can actually do this. And I did this in a previous one that I cut here before air. This one here is done with the coordinating ink, Wisteria Wonder, which is a retired ink color. This one's done with that. The other side is done with your the Versamark that we emboss with, our watermark stamp. So if you don't have coordinated cardstock and paper, then just use the Versamark, and it almost looks identical. So, you know, that might save you a couple bucks, that little tip. So then, with the dies, the layering dies, what I've done here is for this inside panel, I use the two smallest dies, which are here and here, for this inside, the part where you'll write on. And then for these two layers, I use the two, not the largest that we used to cut the base, but the next two down. And just look how intricate it is. Isn't it gorgeous? My all-time favorite right now. Right now. Maybe not forever, but right now. So I use those two. And this pattern paper here that I've used is part of our watercolor digital paper. And let me show you a little bit more here. I printed it out on a lightweight cardstock. I use a Canon, I think it's called, is it Pixma or something like that. It's the inexpensive Canon printer. And this is not heavyweight cardstock. This is a really lightweight cardstock. But it goes through it just fine. And I've printed, these are all from the same pack, and there's like 20 different, you know, different watercolor pieces that come in that pack. So if you like digital papers, definitely run and look at that. Then I had a couple extra pieces in here that I printed last time that I'll just show you real quick. These are from the Dragons in the Dragons in Fall. And this is the one I used last week on my card. And these are just a couple of the extras that came with it when I was working with these here that I showed you. That's what I was working from. Let me swoop all this away, out of the way for us. So I took that piece, and that's kind of what I coordinated the card to. I wanted to match this digipaper. So I did color Mr. Dreamer here with alcohol markers. I used Spectrum Noir, and I just hooked him on with one brad just to let him move, you know, ever so little. Then these little extra stars came from this die set here, Star Spangled Confetti. I thought it was perfect with the Sleepy Dreamer. And then I used the this sentiment from the stamp set as well. So I really like how it turned out. I think it's fun, it's innovative, and I hope this has helped you, you know, teach you to use your dies in a different way. I will put all the information down in the description below, including the scoring measurements to help you. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I'm always around. Thanks a bunch. Bye.